I would like to say a few words about ETA. So thank you very much for coming. There have been a number of media stories and speculation that ETA intends to dissolve itself. But there has been no official confirmation or communication from ETA until now. I can say that as of 1400 hours today, the 3rd of May, ETA has ceased to exist. This information has been today officially communicated to the governments of France and Spain. HD has received ETA's official final declaration that it has disbanded from ETA forever, accompanied by a letter to HD from ETA explaining its decision. HD is sure that the declaration and the letter from ETA are official and authentic. In its letter to HD, ETA states the following, quote, ETA has decided to end its 60 years of existence. The decision has been taken by the entire membership of the organization that has overwhelmingly supported this step proposed by the leadership. Nearly 3,000 militants participated in one way or another in the process, although only half of them had the right to vote as members of ETA. In the end, 93% of those participating supported the decision. As such, in a definitive step, ETA ceases to be a political actor, and this following the end of its armed activity in 2011 and its disarming in 2017. There should be no doubt whatsoever of the will of ETA to leave behind a cycle of armed confrontation and to promote a new political period in our country. I would now like to convey to you the main points of ETA's official declaration of dissolution, in ETA's own words, a copy of which can be provided to you, that was sent to HD in 4 original languages, Basque, French, Spanish, and English. It is the last declaration that ETA will ever make. ETA, the Basque Socialist Revolutionary Organization for National Liberation, hereby informs the Basque people that, following the ratification by its members of the proposal to conclude this organization's historic cycle and function, its journey has ended today. As a consequence of this decision, ETA has completely dismantled all of its structures. ETA has put an end to all political activity. It will no longer express political positions, promote initiatives, or interact with other actors. Former members of ETA will continue the struggle for a reunited, independent, socialist Basque-speaking and non-patriarchal Basque country, wherever they see fit, with the sense of responsibility and honesty they have always demonstrated. ETA's final, unquote. ETA's final declaration also states that from now on, the challenge will be, quote, to build agreements among those with differing viewpoints in order to overcome the consequences of the conflict and to address its root causes. A key part of this will be to bring into effect the right to decide in order to achieve recognition of our nationhood, unquote. ETA ends its declaration with the following words, quote, we have made this our last decision in order to foster a new historical phase. ETA was born from the people, and now it dissolves back into the people, unquote. ETA's final declaration is signed and stamped by the organization and dated in the Basque country, the 3rd of May, 2018, unquote. Before concluding, I would just like to share with you, if I may, a couple of observations of my own. First, I hope and believe that this is the end of a confrontation in which ETA killed more than 850 people and wounded thousands of others. A bitter confrontation that also saw torture of some of those detained for allegedly supporting ETA and the killing of several suspected ETA members by mercenaries directed by some members of the state. All of this was deeply wounding and deeply polarizing. It is almost certain that a majority of the citizens felt that the violence was unacceptable and unjustified. Second, it has been a long road to get here. More than 15 years of effort to end the armed violence and to bring peace. In 2004, the Spanish government and ETA initiated talks facilitated by HD that broke down in 2007. Work then began to renew steps towards peace. In 2011, ETA announced its decision to end armed attacks. In 2017, it handed over 3.5 tons of weapons, which would otherwise have found themselves their way onto the commercial or terrorist market. A few weeks ago, ETA made a statement recognizing the suffering it had caused. The last outstanding demand of the governments of France and Spain was that ETA should disband. That has happened today. Third, I would like to thank all those governments and organizations and individuals who devoted themselves to getting to this good result today. Firm government and resolute, effective and continuous police pressure played an essential role in convincing ETA to end violence and disband. There were also many bridge builders of great courage, and I would like to mention by name just 4 of them. Jesus Eguiguren, the former Basque Socialist Party president, who was one of the first and most effective advocates of peace, and who paid a terrible price with the murder by ETA of many of those closest to him. Spanish President José Luis Zapatero, who initiated the peace efforts in 2004. The current president of the Basque country, Iñigo Urkullu, who has promoted peace, truth, about torture and steps on prisoners. And finally, the Basque independence political leader, Arnaldo Otegi, who led the move to complete nonviolence and strongly advocated for an end to ETA's violence and for its dissolution. Fourth, a long work of reconciliation now lies ahead. It will require recognition, respect, apology, and support to all the victims of violence, as well as a commitment to truth and justice, wherever that leads. Fifth, this is also the end of a long, difficult, and silent journey for this organization, HD. And I would like to thank all of those who played a part in that. Last, if you agree, I would like to conclude by inviting you to stand for a minute of silence to remember the victims of violence. Please. Thank you. Thank you very much, and may it never happen again. Now, if you agree, I would like to pass the floor to Ambassador Raymond Loretan to say a couple of words on behalf of the HD board. Thank you very much.
Merci à tous. Nous souhaitons ajouter à cette annonce quelques considérations du Conseil de fondation du Centre de dialogue humanitaire. Vous savez tous, faire la paix n'est pas chose facile, et aujourd'hui, dans le monde dans lequel nous vivons, nous sommes mis au défi par les violentes confrontations et la souffrance humaine dont nous sommes témoins, par exemple en Syrie, au Sud-Soudan, en Yémen, en Afghanistan, en Ukraine, entre autres, mais aussi par la crise des Rohingyas au Myanmar, ou encore les menaces de guerre nucléaire dans certaines parties du monde. HD ist der Überzeugung, dass in dieser bewegten Welt nur konzertierten Anstrengungen mehr denn nötig sind. Gewalt allein bringt keine Lösung, bringt kein Ende zu Schmerzen und Leiden von Millionen von gefährdeten Personen. Und HD wurde eben gegründet, auch die Vision einer menschlicheren Welt zu verfolgen. Und unsere grundlegende Auftrag, ist eben durch den Dialog und Mediation, wo immer möglich, zu helfen, bewaffnete Konflikte entweder zu verhindern, zu mildern oder eben zu lösen, wie in diesem glücklichen Fall. The armed violence by ETA was not the world's biggest or most serious conflict, but in the very heart of Europe, for over half a century, hundreds were killed and thousands wounded by the group. This bitter confrontation tore apart families, villages, and communities, undermining everyday life, normal politics, and democracy. People lost trust, lost hope, and lived daily in fear. The wounds and scares remain and will take years to heal. If HD has been able to contribute discreetly in some way to the ending of this, and today with ETA total disappearance to the establishment of lasting peace, we are happy to have done so. This is the very reason why HD exists. And it is why we will pursue our work in over 40 other initiatives around the world, hoping to achieve a better future for other people who are today suffering as people suffered in an armed violence waged for decades by ETA. ETA, today's announcement to disappear forever, is the true demonstration that achieving lasting peace is possible. However, long-term commitment and efforts it may require. And my last thought, we hope and we feel that our work represents the best of what Switzerland symbolized and supports, the quest for peace and humanitarian action wherever that is possible. HD is very proud to be based in Switzerland and happy that ETA historic final declaration, disbanding itself and ceasing to exist forever, is being made here in Geneva. Thank you for your attention.